Hi friends, I hope you're well. Thought I would work on my coffee table vessel with the Lucello fabrics. Now the base is wool, but I thought I found a bit of this damask in my cupboard and I thought that I will start working on the inside base. I don't actually want to overdo it, but I thought I'd like something there. And I'm likely to cant the stitch very similar to this inside. This was an old scarf in a cotton. So it's going to work, it'll match, it just won't be exact. So I do like round vessels, and I got this out yesterday and said to Lily, should it be round or should it be square? Just to see what her thoughts were, and she didn't have an opinion. So I decided I'm going to go with square because I do have a lot of round and I do a lot of round. So if I'm going to cant the stitch that, my question will be, so I've picked out two doilies because I kind of like the idea still of inside being a bit round, and I love this one. I think that'd be nice to see in the base. Don't expect it to be empty so you can see it, but I'll know it's there. So there's that one. I think I love that. I just love that. I love this too, but maybe it's a bit bigger. And I'm just thinking now that it might inform what I'm putting in it if it's a particular colour. So this one, the bow here, or another idea. No, that doesn't, that's just slightly the wrong size. I think this is too big. I can't add that round the edges, that would be too big. And just to have a little look at some of my Lucellos that are left over. This I don't know, I don't think this colourway is going to go. I just found it and I just love these little bobbly things. It goes, it's not too bad. Oh no, it's all right. I was just having a thought. On this side it's got a lot of these rosy colours, but even this it still isn't clashing with. Still got to iron that bit out. No, I think it actually will work. So I definitely think that I will be cantha stitching the back so the base looks cantha stitched. So that's going to go there. So how about I just make sure that looks even. Probably should measure it. I will measure it before I stitch it down, just in case I've gone a bit skew because I'm looking at it from this angle and you're looking at it from this angle, so you'll probably be able to see it a little bit better. So now my question's going to be, do I put just a white base, which then could get dirty, or do I find a bit of material? I don't think I've got any large bits because these Lucellos were in a small pack, and they were a small pack that, you know, it was only about that big. Some were folded over in half, but you know, not much bigger than that. So if I use the damask tablecloth, do I have enough for the base? That's the question. And the answer is almost. I think it needs to be just slightly bigger, just to cover that blanket. So So this corner down here is just missing by a little bit. I don't want to have to just attach a little tiny bit down here. So let's have a look at it from this end. It might be manageable. I think I'd still be inclined to want to make a bit of a patchwork of all the fabrics I've used as well though. I just feel a little bit like, as it's a base, it's not going to be seen, so it's probably a bit of a waste of time with the stitching and a waste of the material if it's not going to be seen, because I can use these for something else. So that is what I think I'm using. Let's just see, I think this was not 100% square, so that's not perfect there. This one is okay. That way. If I'm going to canther it, I reckon I should canther both sides together at the same time, all the way through. So this is going to be one of those ones where I'm going to be backwards and forwards again. That's the new format. One a week, backwards and forwards all week. These edges are really good at fraying. Okay, that went a bit wonky. I'll have to address that one. Right, put that there. There's this pin here. So that's going to be the underside, and then that'll be the inside base. When I've canthered the whole lot, I'll take this off first and then put that on after. I'll attach it to the bottom of the sides, and then we can see how that works. I do have an idea of what I'm going to do for the sides, so let's get on with canther stitching this and coming back. I love this puffy. It's just gorgeous. It'll be a nice little surprise in the bottom there. So with this inside bit, I've done quite large canther stitching with a, you know, it's a relatively, I didn't use this. What did I use? I've used a very pale lemon colour, but I might use this for the base. Got quite a bit of it. They're not really super close, but the base, I don't think it's going to matter too much if it's slightly different. Doesn't matter if it's a bit closer. So yesterday was the 1st of June. That is our first day of winter. Not impressed. Not impressed with winter. Never am. If I was a skier or a snowboarder or something, it might be a different story. Okay, I'm a bit worried about that corner up there. Don't think there's going to be much I can do about that when this is on. I have been intending to stitch it like I did the rice bag, with the edges like that. But I have made the base turned under, so it might be good if it's not all of it's turned under though. I think I have been expecting to do that sort of a base, like that, and then blanket stitch around. The only other thing I could do, now that I'm thinking out loud about the whole thing, is take the inside panel off, stitch it like that, so as the edge is neater, so it's like that, and then put the base in after. But then that will mean I'm not canter stitching the entire lot. So I think what I might do is canter stitch internally and leave a bit all the way around. That can be like a selvage edge, so that can be tucked in with that other one and then tucked under like that perhaps. And then the base will be inside there. Hope that makes sense to you. Like, it'll be like that. We'll get to that part when we get to that part. All right, well, honestly, canter stitching, that's my job for today. I think I'll leave, like I'll start, I think I'll leave a good centimetre, I think. That might be the best idea. Let me just see how this is looking. All right, so maybe stitch width is sort of about 1 centimetre as well. It didn't start off exactly, but like that. I am going to, I know I can go a bit wonky, so I am going to rule it up and use a heat sensitive pen to do that, so I can iron it out, and I will be back. Okay, I am back. I did end up putting the heat sensitive pen all the way along just to get them even. Can't really see because I've used the same colour, so I'm just going to iron this out. My iron heats up a bit. I'm really tempted to put on a bit of colour underneath for the base. I found a piece and then I looked at it with the sides and just went, no, I just think that the colours on the sides are enough. Don't want it to detract from whatever's in the basket. I mean, obviously if it's on the bottom you won't see it. But it is all made of wool and cloth, so there's no reason I can't throw it in on a very light cycle in the washing machine. Let me just see, I know I did see a line somewhere, there's one. Don't know if there's another one. They are depicting the sides, but I should be okay. Okay, so I'm just getting a sense of the shape and the size of the base when this is attached. I still like the square, so that's definitely not changing. Now my question is going to be, do I want this in the base? Do I want that there? How does it look to you? I think it might be a nice little surprise in the bottom, and it's not going to detract by things on top because I can stitch it properly all the way down. The base is just going to be the base, that's all. So I might get this stitched down and then I'll come back showing how I'm going to do the sides and the base. Okay, I'm back, and oh my goodness, trying to sort out that base. I pinned it, I unpinned it, I measured, I unpinned again, pin, unpin, backwards and forwards, a lot of strife. In the end, I was pinning it to the middle and to the middle, then pinning out, and every time I got to the corner, I just had this much left over. In the end, I've just decided to trim that off and stitch it. That's the only way I've been able to manage it. So not quite square, slightly rounded little corner bits. Does it matter? No, I don't think so. So that's what I've been doing on each corner, just getting rid of that excess. And I ended up, I couldn't work it out. I was trying to pin it inside and do a little fold over, and in the end the blanket stitch edge was quicker and easier. Still effective, still works, still happy with that. And so that's what I've gone with. I can't believe I spent a whole day trying to nut that out. In the end, just pin it and cut those little corner wedges off, and okay, it's not a perfect square, but it is what it is. It's still a basket for the table with slightly rounded corners. Perfectly fine, really. So I'm on the home stretch with the blanket stitch. Hope everyone's well and enjoying whatever part of the world you are in. Kind of have a hankering for being in England right now. Don't know why, just sometimes. Saw something, I think, on the TV and thought, oh, that'd be nice. That would be nice. Just to be somewhere in a nice warm summer. So the thread I'm using is the Shishiko thread. Just take that nice pin out. Securing that ending as well as I can, and I've just been coming up in under the bottom there. Snip that. Now here is the basket. So the base is got the rounded edges, and I'm really happy that it's standing up pretty well on its own. It's a nice deep base, which is good. And it's you know, it's still floppy. It can, you know, collapse like that, but for the most part it's a nice deep basket. It'll hold projects, whatever I want. I think the idea at the time, I was thinking, I've just got to give a little bit of an iron, but at the time I was thinking that it would hold my current projects, so they were all in one concise space on my table, on my coffee table. So let's have a look. I think that this edging helps it to sit a bit better. Like, it sits quite nicely on the table. Okay, so I've only just got to give a little iron to get rid of some of those little bits of heat sensitive biro around the top as well. But for all intents and purposes, I think that I'm happy with the sides. It's something that I can even pick up one day and just add a little thing if I think about it. If I'm sitting looking at it on the table and thinking, oh, maybe I'll just have a little bit of a doodle on the side of it. So there it is. Wonderful. So I hope you've enjoyed this project. This was the end of part 3 and the end of this project. I have to come up with a new project now. And, well, happy stitching, everybody. I hope you're having a good time. I'll add a couple of photos at the end of how it looks on the table, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.